doesn't only affect the criminal, but the criminal's family and friends, the executor, and anyone else involved in the case, along with the cost of executing the criminal. Today for my persuasive speech, I will be talking to you about the death penalty and why I think it's a bad idea. Cleve Foster, a 47-year-old white male, was first set to be executed 2 weeks after he was convicted of murder. His execution suddenly stopped and the case continued. Foster has been on death row for nearly 10 years. His new execution date was set for April 5th, 2011. Once again, the execution stopped and Foster still waits his fate on death row. Imagine being the family of the young girl who was raped and murdered by Foster. Would you want some kind of justice or closure? But what other options are there besides the death penalty? In Texas, nearly 447 people have been executed since 1977. With this large number, they are known to be the #1 state in America for the most number of executions. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, the average cost of an execution in Texas is $2.3 million. This is about 3 times the cost of imprisoning someone in a single cell at its highest security level for nearly 40 years. In America, 34 states still have the death penalty, and 16 have abolished it. The states that still have the death penalty and the leaders of it include Texas, Virginia, and Oklahoma. The other states include Connecticut, Idaho, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, and South Dakota. These states have had a total of 1 execution since 1976. Iowa is in the category of states that do not have the death penalty. By not having the death penalty, a lot of money is saved. We do not have to keep inmates on death row for many years, which can be very costly, and we also don't have to pay someone to execute these criminals. For example, in California, they have nearly 670 people on death row right now. The cost for California taxpayers is about $63.3 million per year, and it has been estimated to increase to nearly $137 per year. If the death penalty were eliminated, these taxpayers would only have to pay around $11.5 million a year. This is a big change from $63 million and $137 million a year. The cost of defending a criminal who is up for the death penalty is about 8 times of what a normal trial would be. The total cost would be about $620,000. This is a very large amount of money. If every state were to eliminate the death penalty, then all states would be financially stable, not just a few. The critics would say that there are some crimes that are deserving of the death penalty, no matter how much it costs. But 2 wrongs never make a right. Executing the criminal does not bring the death of someone back. But how do people feel after executing these criminals? Do they feel just? Do they feel guilty? Or do they feel sad or happy? Executing a criminal can be very challenging, and most of the time it's very hard to find a doctor or someone who is willing to do this. Shaking hands or not injecting the needle correctly are some problems that are faced when giving lethal injection. I read that a man in Florida was getting lethal injection, and throughout the process of it, he sat up and he said it wasn't working. This is something they do not want to happen. When they are putting someone up for the death penalty, they want it to be painless and quick, and in this case, it was not. Along with lethal injection, which this is could possibly look like, and this is the most common type, there's also hanging, firing squads, electrocution, and gas chambers that have also been used. In some states, the criminals are able to choose their fate, but in other places, they do not have a choice. In the past year, around 138 people have been released off death row and from prison. From 2000 to 2007, there was an average of 5 exonerations. Based on DNA testing, many innocent lives have been saved from being executed. With these DNA testings, it's easier to see if the person is guilty or not guilty of the crime they are convicted of. There are many other options that don't involve the death penalty, such as lifetime in prison without parole, or having a maximum number of years in prison. And once they are out of prison, they will be followed by guards for the rest of their lives. According to the Death Penalty Information Center, a survey was given out to many people. 88% said that they felt that the death penalty does not reduce crimes. 5% had no opinion, and 7% had no opinion on the topic whatsoever. The answer to these murders and crimes in America is not the death penalty. By having the death penalty, it shows that violence is okay, and we all know violence is never the answer. Thank you.